and subscribe.
I still can't go live.
Yeah, no, you can't. I couldn't go live for like, I think it was like 2 weeks.
They told me 30 days.
30 days.
Come on, Flip. I'm gonna Flip. Flip. You're playing with the hands and you yelling. Come on. Why you had to jump me? I didn't have nobody jump you. So why didn't touch me for? You touched me. You smacked my hand. All right, so what, man? I give you a hug. Come on, Flip. No. Come on. See, stop. Flip.
When it comes to shocking celebrity drama, the entertainment world has witnessed its fair share of jaw-dropping moments. Yet, even the most seasoned fans of reality TV were left speechless when the seemingly idyllic vacation of Mendeecees Harris and her husband, Mendeecees Harris, took an unexpected and tumultuous turn. What started as a peaceful getaway in the sunny, luxurious beaches of Mexico quickly spiraled into a full-blown altercation, culminating in Mendeecees being escorted away in handcuffs. Yes, you heard that right. The beloved couple, often admired for their resilience and devotion, found themselves at the center of a scandal that no one saw coming. The vacation, meant to be a moment of peace and relaxation, became a public spectacle, leaving fans and bystanders in disbelief. Eyewitnesses say tensions had been bubbling beneath the surface for days, but no one could have anticipated the catastrophic way things would unfold. One minute, Mendeecees was laughing and enjoying his time with friends and cast members, and the next, chaos. It all happened in a blur. A heated argument quickly escalated, fists were thrown, and before anyone could intervene, Mendeecees was led away in handcuffs, leaving his wife Yandy stunned and horrified. But what led to this massive fallout? Who was the other cast member involved? And most importantly, what happens next? As the reality TV world watches closely, the answers to these questions begin to surface. Sun-drenched beaches, luxurious resorts, and breathtaking ocean views. That's what awaited Mendeecees Harris, Mendeecees, and a few fellow cast members as they arrived in Mexico for a much-needed break. This trip was supposed to be a blend of business and pleasure, with some filming and plenty of time to relax and unwind. Fans had been following their journey on social media, excited to see their favorite couple enjoy a serene getaway far from the typical drama that seemed to follow them in New York. The photos told a beautiful story, Yandy glowing in a flowing white summer dress by the pool, sipping cocktails with the ladies. Mendeecees, meanwhile, could be seen chatting with the guys, looking relaxed and carefree. The vibe was light, with music playing in the background and a sense of harmony that made it seem like they were finally getting a break from their tumultuous reality TV lives. But behind the scenes, something darker was brewing. According to sources close to the couple, the seeds of conflict had been planted long before this trip even began. Eyewitnesses report that the first signs of trouble surfaced earlier that afternoon when Mendeecees got into a heated exchange with a certain cast member, someone whose name has been withheld for now. The confrontation wasn't immediately explosive, but for those close enough to overhear, the tension was palpable. The argument was laced with veiled insults, with the cast member making a snide comment that touched on a sore subject for Mendeecees, his past legal troubles. To Mendeecees, it wasn't just an offhand remark. It was a deliberate jab at his manhood, his growth, and everything he had worked so hard to overcome. He took it personally, one insider revealed. It was more than just a joke. It was like someone was trying to challenge his integrity. Despite the tension, the argument ended without any physical confrontation at the time. However, it was clear to everyone present that the issue hadn't been resolved. Mendeecees was seen pacing around the resort later that day, visibly frustrated, muttering to himself as he tried to shake off the lingering irritation. Yandy, always the peacemaker, was seen stepping in several times, gently placing her hand on his arm to calm him down, but it wasn't enough. That evening, the group gathered for what was supposed to be a peaceful dinner at an exclusive beachfront restaurant. The ambiance was perfect, the sun setting over the ocean, casting golden hues across the open-air dining area. The sound of gentle waves crashing against the shore blended with the low hum of conversation and laughter among the cast members. Andy and Mendeecees sat together at one end of the table, seemingly at ease. Drinks were poured, plates were set, and the group appeared to be in high spirits. But just as the first course arrived, the tension that had been simmering all day finally boiled over. Tea started innocuously enough, just a few casual words exchanged between Mendeecees and the same cast member from earlier. But soon, the topic of Mendeecees' past was brought up once again. Emboldened by alcohol, the cast member made another cutting remark, this time more pointed than before. "Once a hustler, always a hustler," he said with a smug grin. Mendeecees froze mid-bite. Slowly, he put down his fork, his jaw tightening as he locked eyes with the man across the table. "What did you just say?" he asked, his voice dangerously low, the kind of calm that usually precedes a storm. The entire table fell silent, and everyone stopped what they were doing to watch the scene unfold. Yandy, sensing where this was heading, leaned toward Mendeecees and whispered urgently, "Come on, let's not do this right now." She placed a hand on his forearm, trying to defuse the situation before it spiraled out of control. But it was too late. The cast member, clearly unfazed by the rising tension, leaned back in his chair and smirked. "I'm just saying some people don't really change. They just learn how to hide it better." Hat was the final straw. Mendeecees pushed his chair back abruptly, standing to his full height. His voice was still low, but the anger in his tone was unmistakable. "You got one more time to come at me like that," he warned, his fists clenched. The other man didn't back down. Instead, he scoffed and said, "Or what? You gonna show everyone here who you really are?" And that was it. The moment when everything exploded. In a flash, Mendeecees lunged across the table, flipping it over in the process. Plates and glasses crashed to the floor, shattering on impact. Silverware clattered against the wooden deck, and chairs toppled over as the other cast members scrambled to get out of the way. Gasps filled the air as Mendeecees' fist connected with the cast member's face, sending him stumbling backward. The cast member recovered quickly and threw a punch of his own, catching Mendeecees in the side of the jaw. Yandy screamed, "Stop! Mendeecees, stop!" But it was too late. The two men were locked in a full-blown brawl, swinging wildly at each other as restaurant staff and guests looked on in horror. Panic erupted as the restaurant staff tried to intervene. Security guards stationed nearby rushed in, but they were no match for Mendeecees' rage. He shoved one of the guards aside and tackled the cast member to the ground, landing another punch to his ribs. More security personnel arrived and finally managed to pull the two men apart, but the damage was already done. Mendeecees stood, chest heaving, his face twisted with anger. The cast member, now nursing a split lip, glared back at him with a mixture of defiance and smug satisfaction. The entire restaurant was in chaos, tables overturned, broken glass scattered across the floor, and stunned guests either fleeing the scene or pulling out their phones to capture the unfolding drama. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, the sound of sirens filled the air. Flashing red and blue lights appeared outside the restaurant as the Mexican police arrived on the scene. Yandy's heart sank as she realized the gravity of the situation. This wasn't the United States. They were in a foreign country, and the laws here were different. Mendeecees was in real danger. Within moments, the police had entered the restaurant, speaking rapidly in Spanish as they assessed the chaotic scene. Yandy rushed to Mendeecees' side, her hands trembling. "We have to go," she whispered urgently. "We can't stay here. The police—" But Mendeecees wasn't listening. His eyes were still locked on the cast member, who now smirked as if he had won some twisted victory by provoking the fight. Mendeecees took a step forward, his fists still clenched, but Yandy pulled him back. "Don't!" she pleaded. "Don't make this worse, please!" Before Mendeecees could react, several police officers surrounded them. One officer raised his handcuffs, clearly prepared to arrest him. Yandy immediately stepped in front of her husband, her hands up in a defensive gesture. "Wait! Wait! You don't understand. He was defending himself. It wasn't his fault." But her words fell on deaf ears. The officers had seen enough. A translator stepped in and quickly explained that Mendeecees was being arrested for assault. "Arrest?" Yandy's voice cracked with disbelief. No, this can't happen. Mendeecees, please, just cooperate." Reluctantly, Mendeecees raised his hands in surrender, his face filled with frustration. The officers moved quickly, turning him around and snapping the cold metal handcuffs onto his wrists. Yandy stood helplessly by, tears streaming down her face as she watched her husband being led away. As the police escorted Mendeecees out of the restaurant, a crowd had gathered outside, some recording the moment on their phones, while others looked on with pity. Yandy followed closely behind, her heart pounding with fear and uncertainty. She had no idea what was going to happen next.